Hola, hola, hola. It's been quite a while. I've been busy. Hola, hola, hola. Man, I'm nervous. Anyway, whew. Finally I get to at least punch in time for this game. For this week, at the very least. Otherwise, well, at least I've continued the sessions. So we're going to be playing .flow again. Oh my! Sorry if I sound a little bit weary today. I'll do my best to engage a bit more if I can. So without further ado, hopefully not much has been lost here. Whew. For some reason my cursor is moving with the screen though, for some reason. Wonder why. Didn't ask for it to do that. Oh, there we go. That's better. Alright. So where did we last stop? Oh shit, give me a sec. Where did we last stop? I couldn't remember actually where we did last stop. There's a lot that we explored, but definitely there's a lot more that we have to still address, and especially the viewers are kind of waiting for the school part. I'm definitely looking forward to that as well. So that's where I'll try to go, and maybe some other area that I haven't explored yet. Whew. So let me just open the other memo board that I've prepared. Oh no, right. Okay. So we're going to school, but that won't really it's not guaranteed that we're actually gonna go there immediately. I'm being greeted with a struggle. This is Sapitsky's hive. We can't argue with that. Nothing I can do in the computer too, and the dream world apparently. That's what I've been wondering about. Well, either way. Right, another variant of the entrance. I will document that. Sorry about that. Give me a sec. Fuck. There we go. That's better. Hmm. 50. I'll call this one unlocked entrance variants here. This will be on size 24 as well. Let's see. Unlocked entrance variants. There we go. Or maybe I could make this not caps lock, so it'll be easier to distinguish, at least. Don't you just hate it when you're about to sneeze and then nothing comes out? Okay. I wonder if there's any other entry point from Utility Pole World. Otherwise, I might as well go back to the apartments and hopefully there's something new there that I can traverse into. Ow! Ow, that hurts. I did get this already. I'll just stay by here. Wait. Okay. This is to the apartments, right? Those are random NPCs. At least those are considered NPCs. Imagine a pipe also becomes an entry point. Oh, okay. I was scared for a sec. I thought my key got stuck. Okay, so far there seems to be nothing. This is really empty though. And what is this? This is a weird lone pole. I could probably visit Dysmorphic World though and try the ghost effect there. Well, if ever the probability actually worked. So maybe I can just go back there and rest is history. Let's see. That's where I found the pole. That means northeast. Yep. Memory serves me right. Thank goodness. We're back here. Let's check on... We can make that our goal. Let's try to enter the 3 phases, otherwise we're going to try flow session after flow session. Also, are those speakers by Savitsky's laptop? Those look like speakers, are they? I'm gonna put that under here. Wait, no. No. Let's see. Okay, Savitsky's room. I'm gonna just document that real quick, the PC area, because that is interesting to me. Are those look like speakers on the sides of the PC. Otherwise, that may be very well an apparatus to hold, I guess, the program for the flow session. Which makes sense, I suppose. Tech savvy. Or maybe it's just for total immersion. Okay, another entrance variant. Does the entrance variant actually determine if the dysmorphic world gate is open? That's actually a question worth considering. Maybe this time I'll try to arrange the worlds horizontally. Nothing will overlap like vertically. That's what I mean. Like there's another world, for example, like right below, and none over here. That can work, although it will be a little less pleasing to the eyes, but hey, what can I do? Let's see. Did I put dysmorphic world in this color? I think I did. I'll leave it at that at the moment. And then I can go on my merry way. Let's see. Oh no, not this one. It was the 3 big gaping mouth dudes. 1 in 6 chance, depending on the flow session. I really should not fuck this up, or else I'll have to do another trial and error for the flow session, which sucks. It really does. I think I missed it. Okay. Nope. Chat, I want to use the ghost effect. I wanna... Okay, let's go. Hopefully it's okay. I've already seen that variant of the entrance. I don't know if it holds any significant meaning. Otherwise, well, at least I noted it for further reference, if that's how you want to call it. Oh dear, I'm missing stuff. Okay. Oh dear. That's new. Or maybe I've already come across that. I just didn't remember. Okay, let's see. From here... No? What? Huh? No? What? It's not here. I thought it was somewhere here. Oh no, that's weird. Oh no, that is weird. Alright, let's see. So, yep, yeah, nah. God damn it. Folks, we have to do it. I'm sorry. You'll have to bear with me with this one. Okay, let's go. I have captured that before in my last stream. Not there. If I remember correctly, it was northeast, so that I can just get there immediately. Well, hopefully it's there. Oh, that's close. That's pretty damn close. Hold on. Okay. I'm just checking something. We're pretty darn close. Dang diggity darn close. Uh-oh. Nope. I don't want to deal with that stalker. Empty space. Ooh. What is going on? Or maybe I just suck at finding. I have a feeling there's supposed to be something, but let me just be on my merry way. Everyone has gotten busy nowadays, huh? The days are coming back, the holidays are waning. What's left is more work to be done. And everything else that we never asked for. Oh dear, oh shit! Ow. God, I swear it was here. I can't find shit. Not here. What the This is the if you're not finding it, you're gonna find it immediately kind of thing. I swear I found it quicker in my last Is this a bug? Maybe it's actually supposed to happen. Maybe this is the jackpot flow, but it's for some reason it's just not popping up. Well, isn't that great? Hold on. I'm this close. I'm this close to clicking this one. You know what? I'm gonna click it. Damn it. Alright. It's right there. That's a thing! Yeah! It's right there! Wait, if I go northwest... Because it's looping... Oh my fucking god! Chat! It's a bug! Wow! Wow! Oh my god! What a waste of time! Damn. That actually sucks. Imagine a 1 in a 6 chance, and the time you get it, it's bugged out, so you cannot actually enter the thing. Oh. Wow. That actually sucks ass. Wow. Okay. Oh no. We're back to it again. So, in this session, I predict there isn't actually gonna be a third gaping mouth thing. Wait, that's weird. Did I break it? Normally, there's one over here. If the event hasn't been triggered. Otherwise, it's here. With the gaping mouth, of course. Oh my god. No. No. No! No! Okay, that actually sucks. Alright. Damn. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go somewhere else then. Nothing new. Maybe some... is it? That looks like an arm, but that doesn't really do anything other than these. This is to Rainbow Maze. Do I try that part again? The part where you get to the... in general, just getting to that psychedelic alien thing. There's no other entryway here. Open a door, bitch. Let me in. Wait, what? Okay. No, never mind. I thought I went to like a different map or something. Nope. So... wait, fuck, I can't remember. Let's see. I opened this door. This is to Rainbow Hill, I think. Yep. Wait, hold on. Okay, no, never mind. This is Rainbow Fields. And then loop here. Hopefully this... is there a chance that this will become something else? If I loop it like enough times. This only goes back to Psychedelic Town though. Not Psychedelic World, sorry. God, I'm now curious actually. Wait. Fuck. Screeching halt. Great. There's no other effect to get in the Rainbow Maze anyway other than the cat effect. That's really just about it. And then I've also went through the flying event last stream. Let's see. Shut the fuck up. Man, I don't want that to be a chance thing. I mean, that will make sense, but like, how do you even get in? Because I predict like coming here. No. Damn. Okay, so if you look at the ceiling here, there's a rainbow door there. So that means it's an entry from Rainbow Maze. You will eventually reach there, and this becomes like a teleport maze. Look how tedious that looks. And sometime you will be reaching this area. Actually, now that I think of it, can I... Okay, wait, hold on. I'll document this real quick. Wait. I did not put anything in this morphic world. I'm just gonna leave some space. Okay. Caps lock P S Y C. No, bitch. No. Okay. I want to do this because I'm a dramatic motherfucker. Okay, Psychedelic Town. Just to make things a little more easy to distinguish. On my part, personally. Okay, let's see. Psychedelic Town. Hurry up. Register, please. We'll put these down. Have I... Actually, no. Have I have I jotted these guys down on stream before? Maybe, I don't know. Can't remember. Okay, let's see. Write this down. Give me a sec. Fuck 10. Male and female. I mean, if we go by, yeah, fine, gender stereotypes, and that's probably what it means, but it could mean something else, because if you look here, there are like blue and pink buildings around. The pink one in particular is a love hotel. Mostly. Maybe this is just to follow through with the theme, I guess. Sweet sugar. And there's nothing here either. Otherwise... Madam? You doing fine? Nope. 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 Actually, I'm not gonna bother. Wait, hold on. Die, bastard. Alright. Let's see. God damn. This is a Rainbow Maze entry as well, but this is to the Aztec Rave Monkey-like event here. If you end up watering the plant, so you need a watering can for that. Otherwise, no other entry point from here. I'm frustrated because how the hell am I going to enter through to get in, you know, to that rooftop? So, you know, searching around, there seems to be no other way, right? So let's just, yeah, let's bounce. No use actually being here. Wait. All of a sudden, I'm thinking maybe you can enter like from the other end, or not. They don't usually do that. There's no map as well registered for Psychedelic Town, which is weird. Like, is it that small of a map, or has no one actually registered a map for Psychedelic Town? Like, it's super weird. I mean, if judging by the fact that DOTFLOW is not really as popular, then I guess that makes sense, but still. Even the maps in here are a little less clear. Man, I don't know. Well, I guess I'm gonna go back to Footprint Maze then. Hopefully... Unless it's one way. Let's see. Shortcut. Yippee! Oh no! It is one way. Okay, wait, hold on. Yeah, it is one way. Damn. Okay. Okay, hold on. Man, I sure wish I had that effect. Where you can just go back to the entrance, no problem. If that even exists. I'm starting to doubt, because what DOTFLOW has is not really a clear nexus, unlike the other games. It only has like the 4 directions, and that's just about it. You either go to Utility Pole World. Actually, now I'm curious. Wait, hold on. Go back inside. Loop to the right. Hopefully that does something. I'll just do it at least twice. In case... No, okay, one more, just one more. What? Either direction works. Oh. Either direction goes to Psychedelic Town. Well, I'm not really going into Psychedelic Town anyways, so... I forgot how I entered Psychedelic Town in the first place. Let's see. I entered through the alleyway here. Oh, this was to the sewers, right. And then I had to pass by Sugar Hole. Yeah. Sugar Hole is a really chill place. As per... Oh yeah, by the way, this guy has an iron pipe or a crowbar. And he has the same hair color as I do. Though, admittedly, his skin is a little paler, so... Hey, miss! Hell yeah. I enjoy that every single time, just curtsying together. Alright. I can probably visit Orange Maze again. I don't know though. Do not block the way, sir. Don't make me iron pipe you. This one... Where does this go? Oh wait, I haven't entered here yet, right? Oh, that's a nice call. If that NPC was blocking, I would have killed him. Or I would have needed to kill him, rather. Wait, hold on. What's this? Yeah, I'm gonna put sewers here, you know what? I'll put sewers. Font 24. I'll put it in this color. Give me a sec. Looks like a good... Not really. Wait. Very good. Sewers. Swewers! Great. Alright. I'll put it here, maybe. Hopefully there's gonna be enough space by then. Screenshot! There we go. Right. Put in... What in the world is that? I was supposed to interact with it a bit. Let's see. No, you can't, so it's just decorative. I mean, as far as we know, at least. There's a leaking canal there. Can't enter through there. So maybe this is a one-way entry from someplace. I'm guessing disposal. Ugh. I just realized I am in... That's either shit or rusty water. Northern Wastewater Lake. Alright. New location. Very good. What's it called again? Northern Wastewater Lake. Ew, it was wastewater. That's still shit. Northern Wastewater Lake. This is the first time I use this color. Oh. He's like looking and I'm like, oh, that's shit. Oh. So what is this supposed to be? This looks like a weird light or lamp of sorts. Yeah, I'm just gonna put random assets there from what I'm seeing. This is a docks equivalent, unless if I have visited another kind of docks before. I don't know. Maybe I'm mixing up Yumetoki and this game. But yeah, this is definitely a docks equivalent, unless there's another docks-like world. Hi. Mister, Okay, maybe not then. I am expecting, and what is that? That's a rock. I document the rock. Does the rock have any significance? I should not say that. A certain someone will get angry and will diss me live on TV. What is that? Okay, now what is that? That looks similar to an asset from Utility Pole World though. Hold on. Put that in. Get over here. There you go. Yippee! Let's see. Oh, shit. Nope. I get distracted easily, so I end up bumping into places where I know. Well, what is that? This is an entry point. This is deadass an entry point. That is a pole. That is not a pole. That's a lamplight. That's a street lamp. I'm gonna caption what world this takes me to. Otherwise, I'll prioritize making the world heading first before anything else. Okay, step in. Neighborhood. Neighborhood. Oh, I have a bad feeling about this. Oh, what are you afraid about? It's just a good old neighborhood. A good old friendly neighborhood. Spider. I'll make it a darker brown color. Something towards red. Neighborhood. Because that's the prominent color here. It's not really an exact match, but works. So that is a neighborhood entry point. I will put that down. 10. White. No. Entry point. Shit. There we go. Street lamp. Interesting. What's in the neighborhood, Sabi? What's in the hood? Okay. Now I'm given a choice. Either to go through I'm gonna go to the stairs. These stairs look familiar. Wait a second. This is it! Yo! This is it, chat! Fuck! This is it! Yo! My man! My man! Damn! Nice! We love a protective brother, I guess. Otherwise, how do I... Is there anything else I can do with you? I've heard from the fandom that they have sexual tension. I don't get it. Why? I don't get it. Nice. I can... Unlike in Yumeniki, the effects can be done while you're moving. Is there anything I can do? What else? That is really nice though. I like that detail. Like, I equip the iron pipe and then... Yeah. You know what? Yeah, kill me. Actually, okay, so like, it can only be done once. Damn. Man. This guy is amazing. Maybe I'm remembering wrong, but apparently you can get an effect from him. Hold on. You can? Hey. Okay, I better document this. This is Smile's room we're talking about. Smile is meant to be documented. Smile's house section. Or actually, I'm just gonna put Smile's house. This seems like a vague Poniko reference. Literally NPCs with their own house. Oh, it's not a complete black, really? Oh, I can see like a small pixel over there. Oh, right. Okay, that makes sense. Like, why is the transparent selection not registering? Smile and his sister. We'll put it down here. Okay. What is with you? Also, they have a similar silhouette too. Similar silhouette. They have the same hair. I'm pretty sure this is perhaps a variant of Sabitsky or something. But yeah, that's interesting what this does. And what is he holding something? Wait. Okay, I'm gonna document that as well. Savitsky with her swagger in the background. Nice. I'll put that here. Hold on. Ah! Resize 200. That is a... That looks like a hammer. That is a hammer. Oh my. So what's the significance of that then? Hold on, I'm gonna look at the badge. Maybe it has some hints. Maybe the badge does have some hints. Damn it. No. Wait, excuse me. Sorry. You're a sick girl, but I'll see you again. Drives Mel to protecting his sister. Nice. Man, he's so cool. So you don't get to kill him. But there's an event that will happen, which is that one. I was just curious, young man. Maybe it's been removed. But I did get the menu. So, I guess that means nothing else we can do. Bye, Smile. There's nothing else you can do here. Checking back. Okay. Bye-bye. Going back down. I was like, why do these stairs seem familiar? Oh! Yeah! It's him. And we are... This looks oddly familiar. Hold on. Where does this go? That's the industrial maze motif. School. Oh, we're finally in school. Great. Now this is school. Damn. How are you guys? Set menu theme. Set How about you? Set. Next. Smile menu. All set. It's a small menu. Hell yeah. My man. Right, okay, I have to jot that down. Wait. Uh, 24. School. Since school is white on the outside, I'm gonna put that there too, school. And then these are menu theme NPCs then. This is the Mall Toriningen receptionist reference. So we'll jot that down as well. Okay, let's get to it then. Fontana. Menu theme NPCs. There we go. I'm gonna wait, hold on. Can I see what the flower menu looks like? Let's see. Ooh, nice. Slick. But I prefer the small menu. It's red. Oh, wait. Nope. I didn't mean to do that. Nope. That's not what I meant to do. There we go. Also, I should have documented these posters last stream, but we spotted one that had an open eye instead. Open eye version spotted last stream. Date of memo board 1. There we go. Okay, then finally we're going inside. Welcome to school. Okay. Ooh, what are these? More variants! Gotta catch them all. Okay. There's more apparently. That's the one I saw in the hall. Oh no! Decisions! No! My weakness! I'm gonna go west first. What is this room? That's nothing. Few seats. Can't sit down. This looks like a public school. Women. And a man. This is weird. Okay. You can't seem to interact with them. They seem indifferent to you. Wait. Yeah, wait. I'm gonna put that down actually. Okay. I'll put this at 75, I think. Does that work? Or maybe 50. I don't want to mess up the image. Let's see. Classroom. Let's do the NPCs. Stationary. Can't interact with. What if I pull out my iron pipe and threaten to kill them? They start moving. Okay. Oh, what if I become a cat? Oh! Alright, so apparently their position has been registered because they're still in their places when I took out the iron pipe. Interesting, so that means if I kill one, then there will only be two left no matter if I reload this section. Interesting. But I won't try that. That's just my speculation. Meow. I'm friendly. Pet me. Feed me. Give me a love. Let's see. More of them. So seems like random arrangements. Now this one. Okay, finally I get to actually receive the open eye variant. And what do you know? Smile is there. Hi, Smile. So I will actually replace this wall of text here. It's not even a wall, it's just a banner. Okay, let's see. Here you go. Smile. Hi. I can't get to you. But I guess that doesn't matter, huh? So that means... yeah. If we're going by the speculation that Smile is a different person, like entirely, then that means Savitsky met him at school. Otherwise, then that's just another version of Savitsky, like her animus or something. What's in here? Oh, no, stairs. That was a staircase. And what's in here? Oh, those are empty eye sockets. Ah, I see. Get it? 'Cause eyes? I don't know. Put that here. Seems to be nothing unless I... Hi! Miss! Are you okay? Another chaser or doorman chaser NPC, apparently stuck in the classroom. Do not take out your iron pipe at any point in the academic premise. Smile, you're here again! Wait. Oh no, I forgot to document that one room where Smile was in. Hey dude. Sup dude? I wanna talk with you, dude. I'll caption this one. Smile recurring in premises. I'll color his name dark red, 'cause he's cool like that. Alright, let's see. Okay, nothing. Wait, hold on. There's a staircase though. I can proceed there. Alright, I'll try. So this seems to signify Smile, if they're together. I mean, he does have those markings on top of his his eyes, so... let's see, what's in here? Hi! Holy shit, dude! Oh wow, this is quite romantic! Hi, man! Hi! Can I talk with you, dude? In this more defined form. Wait. I'm excited, wait. Hey man, what's up? Sorry I threatened you with an iron pipe earlier, but... Tattoo. Oh, really? There. Look at her. She has markings on her eyes, the same ones that Smile has. So I'll put it here too. Tattoo effect. Fuck. Tattoo effect. Get. same markings. Why? Like, that's either her previous lover or herself. Yet if we heard from the voice line, then it sounded pretty masculine. Oh! Jesus Christ! What are... You look similar to the guys in Dysmorphic World. Oh God. Hi! What's up? You need... What could this mean? Is there negative connotations with the smile or something? Okay. Did not dims. No, this is more like old entity similarity. In a way, then it makes sense if smile is connected with Dysmorphic World. I mean, everything else is you're blocking the goddamn way, bro. I can't go in. What do I do? No? Wait, I'm gonna try this one. No? I can only turn invisible, not incorporeal. Okay, let's see. No? Is that a chance event? It seems like there's nothing I could do with this guy at the moment. Not even budging to a cat. You monster. Me trying to kill Smile's sister. Anything here? And probably I can go up, but maybe that will just go to the same area. Let's see. Hi. Hi. That's a weird arrangement. You are supposed to be mingling with your other NPC friends. Not standing there as if... I can't help but also speculate this might be something relating to gender identity or something. Or at least ambiguity. Of self-image, which may make sense. But yeah, there's like everything in the dream world anyway is connected to the character, but especially Smile. There's just something about him. The fact that he looks super similar too. Hi. There seems to be nothing here then. Okay, let's go back down. Oh no, there's... Okay, no other way then, I guess. Wait. What if I try to enter from the right? Is that anything different? Ah! Smile is there. I see! Oh my! Yo! That is actually spicy! Like each time I take out my iron pipe, Smile takes his hammer out. I think I can see why the fandom says what they're saying. I don't know. I'm probably sick in the head, but It's just notable for me. Wait. I'm gonna document that real quick. Iron pipe. He's smiling. He's like, try me, bitch. What an icon! I swear to God, this guy. I love him. I want to draw him in Sabi so bad. Like, I now understand the fandom. Y'all, I'm sorry about what I said earlier. I was confused. Simply. I hope we can settle our differences this stream. Alright. Yo, that is spicy. Some thriller shit going on. I'm pretty sure he has the same... Alright. Pop, 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 pop. Oh wait, is it on again? Hi! Sorry about that. It got a little... There was a bit of a technical difficulty there, but it was a small hiccup. It got in like a few seconds later. Got back in a few seconds later. Hell yeah. Okay, let's see. Hi, Smile! My love. I'm gonna pull out my iron pipe, see how you... So, no... Now that I think about it, he kind of already has this hammer out. Defensive, I guess? What does this mean? And he's everywhere. What if I take out my iron pipe then in the balcony? Let's go up. Oh, no, I can't? What? Oh, there we go. Man, he's such a vibe here. I won't. If I look closely... Actually, he already has a weapon out too. We established it was sort of a hammer. In here. Now we can confirm it is. With this higher quality sprite, somewhat higher quality hammer. Yeah. This is a pretty scenic scene though. It's not like the other scenic scenes you get to see in the previous games, but it's still pretty calming. Pretty serene. Sir, can you enter from here? It looks like an empty space. Well, I guess there's nothing else I can do here. Time to go back. Wait. I've entered the part of the basement, right? Let's see. Oh, no, shit. No? Okay, so that means I have to go down from the outside. Right. I forgot about that. I went in from the second floor. I mean, there's a basement, basically. So let me just, check that so I can clarify with myself. Let's see. Yep. No. Okay. Go down. Let's see. Oh, I haven't been here. Well, I made a good choice. So what is this supposed to be? This looks a little mazy. Oh, I can enter from here. Okay. Let's see. Nothing you can do here. So I'll just enter. Oh no. Okay, Chad, we unlocked a correlation. So the intact eye. The intact eye is... Fuck! It's correlated with Smile himself. But we got this. We got the gouged out eye. And this guy that looks a little more like Sabitsky. Oh no. Uncanny resemblance. Nope, nope. So uncanny resemblance to Sabitsky. There we go. Okay. Uniform. Oh, this is an effect and... Oh! Oh! He disappeared, chat. He disappeared. I'm now on my uniform. Yes. Ha ha ha. He ha ha ha. Okay. I wonder what this does. Does this have any practical application? I've already visited that area too, so I think maybe Smile has something. Kabi, welcome to the stream. Hello. What is this emote? Evil giggle. Oh, that is real. He ha, he says. Ha 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 he. I somewhat reply, with a nervous grin. What is in here? Nothing. Okay. Let's see. Okay, maybe nothing else here then so far. I guess I'll have to move on to another area. Get me out of here! Get me out! Let me out! Bye-bye. Why does it sound like the pros from Bakemonogatari stuff? Man, what you said just takes me back. Personally, I think it also gives the energy of... No, I'm not you, I'm me! I'm me, he says. Kingdom hurts. Bye, Smile. I'm gonna leave. Okay, maybe there's no other way out then. Then I'll just proceed out of the neighborhood and find another entry point from the docks. Not the docks. What is it called again? It's called Northern Wastewater Lake. Northern Wastewater Lake. What's her name? Ononoki. Ononoki. I mean, I'm not familiar with everything about the Monogatari series. Maybe I should check it out even more. Wait, I forgot, or maybe I have forgotten who Ononoki is, but yeah, I'm not that cultured. Let's see. I guess we're again back to the shit water lake we go. it's a huge series. Yeah, a lot. There's Bake Monogatari, Nise Monogatari, a lot Monogatari. I haven't been keeping up with it either. Yeah. It's the Yumetuki of light novels, except it's not really, you know, convoluted unless, you know, I mean, it could be considered one. That could honestly apply to like any other long-running media with a lot of lore connections or whatever. Let's see. Up. No other entry point? No. I wanna explore. At least I got a new effect and another one. And now I have a newfound sensation for what do I do with you? Never mind. Did you see the menu, guys? Yeah, I saw. I interacted with them with so I got the smile. I got the smile menu effect here. I also have the menu theme here. I also have flower, but I prefer smile. I also documented them here. Yippee! Look at them goobers. They look like they're about to chase me. It's technically a reference, again, as I said earlier in the stream, to the Toriningen receptionist in the original game. Kaibutsu. What does Kaibutsu mean again? I forgot. Monster? Bakemono is monster. Kaibutsu is like beast. I forgot. It's something feral. This is going to the neighborhood and there's only one connection there, if I remember correctly. Demon, maybe. Demon is... I mean, that can work. Though demon is more of like... Oh yeah, no, devil. Because demon and devil are actually a little bit different, right? As far as I remember, but I remember, you know, Japanese correlations to like Akuma or Oni. That's what I... Hi! Girl! How do I reach... God! Damn! Wow! Out of reach! Hey, girl! Oh, no. Oh, my screenshot did not work properly. Register. 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 There you are. Okay, let's see. Northern Wastewater Lake. That name sounds a bit funny, not gonna lie. It's... There was a possibility of it being called Northern Shitwater Lake instead. Okay, looks like we're going back to the sewers. If you don't want to kill an NPC in this area, you just have to be quick enough that they don't block your goddamn way. Like this dude over here. Excuse me, sir. You don't want me to iron pipe you? Orange maze. Get me in. Oh yeah, that's the same sound. That beep before going into Orange Maze. That's the same sound as the heart monitor NPC. Though it's sped up. This is apartments, is it? Or submarine corridors? Oh yep, I'm back here. Hello. And I remember entering from somewhere too. This is submarine corridors. I could easily go inside submarine world from here. Otherwise, oh no. So it actually is a maze. Hi, what are you? Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, fuck, nope. Wop, wop, wop. No, I refuse. This world is a little bit annoying because I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm actually going. I mean, I could look at the map, but who does that, honestly? Okay, maybe this is going back to the... Okay, checked it and people are saying literal meaning is monster. Yeah, kaibutsu. That's what I remember too. This is still going to submarine corridors. I guess that's a one-way then. Seems like a one-way. Apparently there's a movie named that. Yeah, that's what I remember. I mean, I have heard of that. Or I'm not quite sure anymore, actually. Wait. Okay, let's just get through. Hold on. Was it this area, maybe? I remember entering through somewhere. Hopefully this does have other... No, don't get me back to city, man. I don't like city. Don't get me back to city, bro. Oh god. So it's gonna be... I'm gonna start from... submarine corridors entry. That looks similar to the apartments, and then I'll look at the map from there. Okay, stop. Stop there. See? The prison, orange maze, to see apartments, I see. Okay, let's go back there. Is that the one? Is that the one? Oh, okay. I'm almost there. No! No, get me in. Get me there. Man! Yes! Oh. God, that's really hard to tell. So now I'm in apartments. And I'm back here. Let's see. Seems to be nothing. Utility pole world. Okay, I'm going to go here. Maybe I'm gonna go back to reverse apartments. Frustratingly enough, I can't seem to go to the... I tried going back to dysmorphic world to try out the ghost effect there, but no. Apparently it bugged out. Oh my. Oh. Wait, so what is this supposed to be? I'll probably document this as well, actually. Snow World. This is a connection to Plant World, definitely. 24. Snow World. And then I'll make this brown. Or maybe this color. No, that's shit water. Actually, no, never mind. This one. There we go. Snow World. Then I'll document this thing inside. Let's see. There we are. And then the pipe aftermath. Wait, hey, register, no. There you are. Okay. Plant World. Plant ivy imagery. If you want a full screenshot, keep in mind the site has a button to easily let you grab one. But yeah, well, one, I have slots, and two, I want to take a picture of segments like directly, so there's that. And I can easily keep track of the resizing too, so I definitely prefer not really using that in terms of documentation. For Yumetoki it's fine because those are more of moments and stuff. Wait, hold on. Ow, shit. Have I been here? Looks like I've been... Oh, fuck. Shit. And this is going into illusionary corridors too. I'll document this one as well. Illusionary corridors, I'm gonna put that in. Okay. No. C24. Illusionary corridors. There we go. Whoop. Double L, double L. Double R, double R. Copy paste. 50%. Seems like a one way because now you're trapped here. 10. I've been here before. Let's see. Going out means you're trapped. Otherwise, to reverse that, you interact with this one, and that's the only time we can exit from there. I see. Nice. Haven't actually went that way. Huh. So I'm back here. This is where I got the plant effect. Nothing else I can do here? No, there seems to be nothing. Damn. Okay, let's go back then. We're not needed here anymore, chat. No. But I can enter further here. With the children now in the hospital and backwards, we saw that they were inflicted with a similar disease, or a disease that makes them look a little bit similar to Sabitsky, although a little more disfigured. And now in here they are disfigured, but in the way that the plants are clinging onto them. Every botanophobe's dream? Nightmare. Hold on, give me a sec. Okay. Oh wait, I think I've been here. Have I? Probably have been here. Okay, oh wait, this is going back to sunset. Okay, give me a sec. Alright. Now let's see. This is still in sunset. Wait, of fucking course. Can I enter this from the other end? Then it's gonna be the same. Okay, maybe not then. So I guess it's back to illusionary corridors, and then hopefully I'll find something there. Let's see. Have I went here before? There's the heart monitors, and I think this is an entry from the hospital, because I do remember this place vaguely, and hopefully I can enter there. This is back into backward. Excuse me, miss. Oh, this is going into parade, probably. Yeah. Actually, from here, I can proceed to, hospital. What's in here? And what is this? They look like windows. Those are weird. Back in the hospital. These are corpses. Okay, I'll also put in here 24. Hospital. I don't know if I've already documented this, but hinted from, let's see. Sort of hinted from backwards that these may be the visuals inflicted by the deceased. Okay, let's see. Alright, and there are hooks there too. This is an oddly realistic depiction of what this area could look like in real life. Otherwise, I haven't been here before. Hole. 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 Just hole. Nothing. Can't enter out of there. Wait, hold on. How do I go through? No? No? What does that mean? The screen is only flashing that. Wait a sec. Kabi, you told me last stream this was a subtly useful effect. Now what does this do? Do I need... Am I missing something? A dowsing. That wasn't dowsing. Or a sensor. So the the TV is a detector of sorts? Is that what you mean? No, you can't pass through that fence. I see. So the TV is a sensing effect then, but okay, that's weird. So why is this here? I'll put hole. That sounds wrong. Hole. And then I'll take a picture of this hallway. Let's see. This is really long. Wait. No. Okay, this is a bad idea. Well, let's resize this to 50. Hopefully that helps. Yeah, that does. Nice. Okay. A tease. I see. A tease. As to what's gonna happen. There's a bit of blood coming out of that bag too. I guess a hint. Interesting. Secret. Alright. Same 3x3 window thing. I'll also take a picture of this. Sorry. I think I took a picture of this last stream, but I'm just gonna do it again, just in case. Of this area. I'll be real, I don't know where they got some of these world names from originally, but they took them from the most useful established wiki for the game. That makes sense. There's also a wiki, DOTFLOW that also does his own wiki, if I remember correctly. I suppose they got it there, but I can't be too sure. Not too familiar with those. Alright, let's see. I'm back in the... Hi! Hello! Hi! 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 Hello! Other rooms include this room and this room with a girl that has prosthetics. Let's see what other rooms have. Other occupied beds. Huh. Let's see. And we got... yeah. Someone who's injured. And this guy. This poor little guy. I'll take a picture of this room too. Not really the full shape of the room, but I'm guessing the other dents are there for something. Otherwise, it might just have been for design. Otherwise, the design does look a bit familiar. So instead, let's replace that with a fuller picture. A fuller picture of the room. Because the shape somewhat looks like a brain. I may be wrong though. And the positions of the guards at the moment may be significant to this kind of theming. Alright, let's see. Hello, nurse. Is that dude's by like? So nothing in particular here. Okay. Hey doctor, I got something in my eyes. You don't care? Okay. Alright, so that means I can perhaps just proceed to the maze and stuff. Nothing on the sides. I can just proceed. Hole. What's this? I haven't been here before. Sugar hole. Never mind. Hello, miss. Good evening. Man, I love that every single time. Now I'm here. So I can finally explore this world that jump scared me a bit. Otherwise, maybe there's no other entry point here. Which is sad. I kinda wish there was. What's this? Hi. Daruma. Interesting. She's like, I'm just waiting for you here. Come get your effect. It's like a Guillotine World reference. This sugar hole place. Or this certain section in particular. This section in particular, sorry, that was redundant. Me 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 me. Wake up. I wonder if there is a... I wonder if there is an effect for going back to the entrance or something. Dharma. What the fuck? Oh no! I can't get up! Oh no! I can't get up! I'm just gonna worm my way through here. Hell yeah. This is so funny. Aw. Yeah, okay. I'll not let you suffer anymore. Oh no. I've taken a picture of this as well. Plant world. I wonder if there's anything I can do here. Otherwise, let me check for dysmorphic world, because God forbid that world had a bug with its chance system. Let's see. Yep, okay. I wonder if there's an effect where you can just go back to the entrance like immediately. Otherwise, it's good because I get to explore other areas. But you know, it's tedious sometimes. Especially if I want to go somewhere. Okay. Back here. Oh, I haven't been transported here before. So this is going back to plant corridors. Oh yeah. So this is an illusory. Yeah. This is just plant corridors. Okay. Any other entrance here that I've missed? I don't think so. Seems to be nothing. Gas mask effect. Alright. So seems to be nothing. That's just a wall. Can't go through there. Hello, miss. This is a one-way. Anything else? Anything else? Okay. I wonder how to get to her. That's weird. Damn. Okay, let's see. Nothing else. Weird. What does this do? I've been wondering what that person in the corner is. Maybe it's just another tease. Which is, well, thanks, I guess. There seems to be nothing that I could do to get to her, unless if I kill her then I've accidentally killed someone, but I don't want to do that either. That looks like a one-way though, so yeah, I'll just not bother with it at the moment. Unless I'm terribly missing something, but yeah, I can't figure it out yet. Let's see. Am I looping? No? Okay. I'm back. Hopefully I can find my way out somewhere and hopefully to a new place. Otherwise, I really have to get to other places or actively find something that I haven't been to. Man. This is quite frustrating. So I guess I'm just gonna leave this place slowly. And now I'm in Flower World. Hopefully there's something here. There's that. There's a Rafflesia there too. Maybe I can do something with it? Doesn't seem like I can. Air pipe? Watering can? Or is this yet another tease? There's so many teases here. Gas mask? These guys are pretty stinky anyways. No, not that either? Because I feel like you could do something with this, or maybe this is a chance thing again, which... Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go somewhere else then. I've already taken a picture of little Rafflesia last stream, I think, so maybe I'll just focus on getting or discovering things. Hopefully I'll be able to. These are teeth. is the entry point, I think. Can't go in here though. No. Guess not. This is getting frustrating. There's a lot of flowers here. Maybe here's a warp. Yep, to wetland, okay. So I can just go backwards into Plant World. Or Orange Maze. Yeah, Orange Maze. Yeah, I remember that route then. Don't be daft, NCAT. Don't be daft. If you're daft, you'll be punked. Back to submarine fucking corridors. Let's go. And we're back to prison. Okay, you know what? Let's go back to that door we saw earlier then. Hopefully there's something there. Otherwise... Meow, 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 meow. So sad. Oh, okay, this is the entryway. I'm just going backwards. So, let's see. Enter from here. Hi. TV, what do you have for me? I didn't really catch that. Alright. Let's see. Now if we... I'm going to go to that one place where there's like a small door in between two cells. It's kind of where I got the corpse effect. Not so sure though. Because I might as well just be going in circles all over again, which definitely sucks ass. I want to try something. Oh, come on, that doesn't work either? And the fear of being watched or followed. Okay, there we go. So this is to the corpse. Yep, and hopefully there's something else. Damn. I guess I'll go to hell again. Fine. Alright, let's see what's new in hell. Hopefully there's something new in hell. That does sound wrong out of context though. This area is leading to somewhere, which is definitely supposed to have something. Did you see the menu? Wait, hold on, never mind. No, never mind. I thought I read something, but apparently it's just the chat going back for some reason. Okay. Nothing here. Nothing new. Oh no. I guess I should have gone to the east. A quicker way could be waking up, actually. At this point. And then I'll just save. And then I'll go back. And then... hopefully by then I'll... actually get to the corrupted school part. Okay, wait, here. Northwest, keep going. No, you missed it. Look at this. This is what absolutely sucks. The middleman disappeared. It's not supposed to happen. It's a very bad bug. Damn. I'm honestly really sad. I went in that gaping mouth at the wrong time. That's what happened. It's really bad. So can I now? Well, again, go to the east. Fall else fails. So now we're back in Music World. Yay! Hopefully there's something new I can find here too. Otherwise, nope. Then it's all for naught once again. Where is this going again? Connecting tile path, okay. Is there anything I'm missing in connecting tile path? I mean, definitely there's white room. I'll try to keep going right. See what happens if I keep going right, because I haven't really gone right yet. Hi. Blood maze. Oh, I'm back here. Okay, now hopefully in here I'll get to find something. Otherwise, what a pain. Oh, what's this? I'm back in white room. God damn it. Left? If I keep going left, does it give me something? If I go down and I go down. Oh my, have I been here? Submarine world. Oh, I'm back. Green electric world. Okay, I'm kind of going back to these places, I guess. Though, I was low-key looking for something, but I guess not really. Alright, that's weird. Wait, hold on. I feel tempted to wake up, but I seriously want that effect. If there's a way to get to the entrance quicker. Pretty sure it can be found in a place like the hospital, but otherwise I could be wrong. Hello. Meow. Hi. Hello. Maybe. A bunch of candles here. I don't think I've seen this part yet. Vast expanse. Rocks. Oh, I'm stuck. Oh, that's weird. More rocks. Entryway into Submarine City. I don't want to go back there. Okay, this is sad. Let's see. Okay, maybe I can just go back to the starting area here and then I'll just go backwards from there. This is into Star World. Hopefully this has something. This doesn't have a map either, which kind of implies that it's a small world with only the machine effect to give. I guess we're back to hell. Yay. Oh wait, huh, that's weird. So they're one way. So we're back into Submarine World again. Wow, this is more frustrating than I thought. I don't want to go back there. This is in this dream I wake up and go to sleep a lot. Well, at least I'm able to visit the school and visit Smile. The south, north goes to Dysmorphic, left goes to Utility Pole World. I'll go to Music World. And then hopefully I'll find something. Oh, what's that? Actually, okay, no. That's new. Okay, there's hope. I can't go in. Wow, that's frustrating. There's the other arm. Okay, this is a DJ. I got the headphones effect from him. And hopefully I can find... So in here I'll expect the other DJ. There are a couple of DJs in here, which is cool. This is a weirdly arranged asset. There's the other DJ there. Don't think I can interact with him. He's just there. Pretty chill dude. Willing to bargain. Or maybe that's just my assumption. And this is new. Why are these blocks long? Where do these lead? Is that just a... Are those just random? And I think I'm back again. Yep, I am back again. Oh my. How can I get to you? Maybe I shouldn't ask for that because there's probably a chaser area. Meaning to say, I'll get trapped and then that's where I'll end up. I guess there's nothing here so far, so back to White Room we go. Hold on. This is a weird protrusion. Like, why are these bumps there? So, okay. Well, I think I'll just go back to Blood Maze. And if I end up back in the White Room... I did say if I end up back in the White Room, I'll go up. And keep going up. I see. So, no... Okay, let's see. Left. Right. Maybe those are dead ends? Okay. So it's probably like a wrong answer type of thing. Just quite weird. Okay, so I'll just explore Blood Maze. Don't go down the staircase, or you'll be back from square one, which sucks. And you don't want that. I feel like these could be... I feel like these could be interacted with, but I'm not quite sure. Ooh. So what is this image supposed to mean? Maybe chasers around? Or potential chasers around? I think that's what it means. Hopefully I find something new from here. I really don't want to go back to the White Room. Maybe these connections are unlocked in some way if I do something. And this is a looping map. Really looping down. Really no sign so far. So what is going on here? Oh yeah, I've been here. I forgot what this is. Insides. Okay, finally I'll get to... jot down insides. Now first, let me just... No, not like that. There. Okay. Insides. Finally, I get to jot this down. Not gonna lie, I find this song comforting. Like there's a sort of consonance going on instead of a dissonance. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a sort of nice harmony going on. That sounds rather calming. That's what I'm hearing though. Those are my ears. Can I go elsewhere? Insides? Or maybe not. Oh, apparently there's a... Oh, I can probably go further here. Hey, secret. I find creepy ambient Silent Hill BGM. Right? I love Silent Hill BGM. Silent Hill BGM is really inspiring because it uses like sampling in such a very creative way. Hi. So I'm finally in Visceral World. I'll jot that down. With this. Then hi. You're the same girl I saw in the hospital. Whistle. Whistle. Oh. Oh. Hey. So this is to move NPCs in a certain direction? That is interesting though. Okay. That's actually interesting. Now what are you? I don't wanna get you out of there. I don't want to. I'll deal with you later. Let's see where else I can go. Now this is a secret. Not really a secret, but nonetheless. This is very promising because it's a new area. Ugh. Yuck. Throbbing. Really nice. And womb maze. Womb maze. What the fuck? Oh no. Sabi. Chasers? Those are chasers, definitely. Good thing I have my broom. Otherwise, what I can simply do is just go invisible, but you know, I'd rather go with the broom things. Okay, so I can go back here. I'll take note of the inside's connection. So it's going east. Then I'll just see where I can go in Visceral World. So I'm back here. Actually, now that I think of it, look at the pattern. Ovary, ovary, uterus, vajayjay. Interesting. And this part is a gap. Yes, this part is a gap. I've been here. Alright, so I guess it's into womb maze then. Alright, let's see. What we can do, where we can go, what we can see. This goes into womb maze. Let's go right. Let's see where that takes us. Let's go further right. Let's see where that takes us. Oh, hello. Oh, this is still in womb. Oh no, this is gonna make me sad. Is that cake? Wait, what are these actually? I'll jot that down. Yeah, I did not take a picture of the girl, damn it. Forgot. Alright. I'll put it here in a sub thing. Womb maze section. I'll make this a certain red. Womb maze. section. This is the save menu theme, but faster. I have been struggling on making a outro remix of .flow because I couldn't find anything that sort of fits the motif, but I do want to try and keep finding it. Wait, no, not here. I feel like I have to drastically make the vibe a bit different, although keep the tempo. Somehow it got a little darker. Or no, Yumetoki is calming, Yumeniki is cheerful. This one will be perhaps melancholic, I don't know. So what's here? I think this is still part of the maze, so there's a couple of entry points that I can choose from here. Anything else I can find before I proceed? That looks like an orange maze entry point though. So this is quite small, I see. I've seen that again, so this is a small looping world. Let me choose the one in the south. Let's see where that takes me. Still in Womb Maze. That's strange. Oh? Oh, no. Go down. Down. Oh, where does that go? Now I'm curious. This is back into Womb Maze again. Maybe I should have gone through the middle door, but either way, let's just keep on going. Maybe we can find something. Alright. Down we go. Middle. This is a strange maze. I mean, it is a maze, but it doesn't really feel as mazy. Maybe because I haven't really gotten through it, you know? Like, this is my first time here, so I'm just chilling around, seeing where it takes me. Back in Visceral World, and if I enter the left ovary, I go here. Let's see. Into this place. So this is back into the entry world, unless if I find anything. That scared me a bit. What could be here? Nothing. This doesn't feel as claustrophobic. I think that's what makes this different. This somehow feels a lot cozier. So I guess I'm gonna enter here. And we are in a darker state of mind. And it's now looping and looping and looping. We'll take a picture of this then. We're back to .flow, guys. Alright, let's see. Put that at 50. Then what is this? There's a hole. One chaser, one dormant chaser. This is sad, actually. What's this? What's that supposed to be? Maybe there's no other way. I don't know what to do here. Oh, wait, what? What do you look like? So that's what you look like in your chaser. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I feel like to open up this hole, I need to... I don't know. Should I? Sorry. Oh! I'm finally in prison! Damn! That's funny. Okay. That's funny. Man. Is there anything I can do? Maybe there's no other way out in there then. But I will go back to Visceral World. Let's go! Whee! Alright, so let's go back to White Room. Actually connecting tile paths first, but hopefully I'll find the entry point soon enough. Yeah, definitely soon enough. Oh, that sounds good, doesn't it? Soon enough. Right. Alright. There seems to be nothing here. Where was it again? In relation to the Nexus not Nexus, entrance. entrance. The entrance is pretty crazy. It was northwest, right? Or northeast. Let's see. Let me try. I used to find it so quickly. Hello, DJ. I used to find it so quickly. Where are those days? Maybe I just don't take note of it. Oh, there it is. What do you know? See, guys, I'm a professional. So let's go back to White Room, and we go back to the Blood Maze, and then we go back to the insides, and then we go back to the into White Room. Pretty tedious entry, but well, I digress. Further to the right. I don't want to go back to Submarine World. That's the least of my worries. Right down. Oh, did I go the wrong way? Yeah, it seems like I went the wrong way. Oops. Was it up then? Well, hopefully I find my way back, that's for sure. Avoid the staircase at all costs. And we're back. That was quick. Alright, let's see. VC Real World. This is actually my chance to take a picture. I wonder why there's a whistle in the world like this. It's actually funny. So this is the corpse we saw earlier in backward past, and I'll also color this this gray, and sunset. There we go. Not really a corpse, but she does look disheveled. Okay. So it seems like there's nothing we can go into. Into the womb we go. This is where the egg is fertilized, and it goes into the uterine wall. And you know what happens if it somehow doesn't go into the... Oh, this is new. Nice. Let me choose this one. Oh, I'm back. Can I choose this one? I'm back. Let's see. This one. Come on! Not fair! I did not see him. What a shame. Maybe I shouldn't have interacted with him. Okay, let's try that again. So that was a pseudo chaser, maybe. Or not. Maybe I shouldn't have actually touched him. Alright. We're back here. Let's see. Kind of has nothing. This goes here, back into visceral world. So this is kind of going back. Never mind then. I'll enter through the right ovary. Anyway, if there is no spermatozoa to fertilize the egg and make it a zygote, the egg simply just goes through the fallopian tube and into the... what was it called? Into the uterine wall it goes. Yeah, there we go. And then, well, it has no use, so it gets discarded in a painful process known as menstruation. Such is the life of a woman. Oh well. Shogunai. I see. Hold on now. It's actually pretty scary, not gonna lie. Nothing else? Okay. Oh, that was actually scary. It gave me goosebumps. Goosebumps. Good moves, gubba-bumps. Bagoose goose. So that means I unlocked the shortcut? That seems like it. Ooh. Oh wow. Actually, now that I think of it, that this is a shortcut. Thank God. Whew. Wow. That was exhausting. That was actually scary. And there you are. Viscera. Oh my. Ugh. Wait, hold on. Is that the same? I see. So it's just that's just those footsteps. Okay. Yikes. Savitsky, your guts are hanging out. You might wanna... That's sad. Wow. Okay, I'll document this girl. That's actually really fucking sad. Holy shit. Alright. So this is still one maze. Technically. I'll put this at 50. And then viscera effect. Ow. My stomach is grumbling. Probably doesn't like what it's seeing. Viscera effect entity. Sabi, no. That's just sad. Okay. Ow! Okay, wrong button. There seems to be nothing. There's no other way out than there. Which I'll go through anyway, so... I wonder what's here. I mean, definitely aside from these. Would have been nice if I got a sort of shortcut there, but apparently not. Okay, nice. Got myself out of that. Huh. So now I got another effect, viscera. Let's see, what happens if I come back here? Oh yeah, right, this area. Try going back there. Okay. Wonder if there's anything new here. Seems like a one-way thing so far. Decision. There's the shortcut to the whatever that weird place was. And I think this is the same area that we went through. No, let's see. Oh yeah, I've been here. Yeah, okay. So at that point I'll just be going in circles then. I see. Well, I guess at this point I can enter again through here. Or maybe this takes me somewhere? What if I go up? Then that means I'll go back up to the visceral world. Okay. But I'm confused on this part though. This one. How I can get back there. Maybe someplace in the womb maze has that sort of connection. Okay, maybe... Alright, yeah. I think I have no choice. I'm sorry, kid. What? What? I literally killed her. Just for me, just for me to have a seat? Excuse me? Wow! What an asshole. Damn. That's savage. Okay. Asshole. Oh, okay. Oh, we're back into sewers. I wonder why I didn't enter through that area before. Wait, hold on. I'll try to check if there's anything I missed though. At least my eyes are kind of eased though, because now the red isn't like so much unlike before. Okay, yeah, no other way then. Into sewers we go. This certainly is a cruel Yumeniki game. There's Sugar Hole. And there's the other part. That can be reached in some way, we just don't know what at the moment. Back into Orange Maze then? Sure, why not? I want to go into Orange Laboratory though. I want to find a way there. And hopefully that will help. Come here. Come at me. Oh. Wait, what? Wait, what? What? Wait, this is different. This is different. Wait. I accidentally went through something. Whoa, 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 whoa. Chat, this is different. Yo! I literally just said I wanted to enter Orange Laboratory. Ask and you shall receive. Hey, hey, hey. Nice. Unfortunately, now I'm in a sort of maze area and I don't know where this is. Somehow it's looping. This is linked to Oreko, however. The diving helmet girl, I mean. Okay. I'm back in Orange Laboratory. Maybe this is supposed to be looping somewhere. If I go here. Nope. Let's see. Go down a couple of times. Hopefully they'll get me somewhere. Nope, not that either. What's with the sus? What did I say? I keep saying things apparently. I wonder what I said. That's pretty weird. I don't remember saying anything. Okay, no, but this is actually weird. Where do I go to from here? This only goes to the same area. That's the thing. And then probably after this, then after I discover something, then I'll end the stream. Okay, nothing else here. It's weird. I want to get through this area. Like, I am seeing... Oh! Oh! Oh, wow, that jump scared me. Okay, I'm glad I tried that. I am actually glad I tried that. Wow. That actually scared me. Holy shit, that's really good. Whoa. Okay, let's see. Hi. Oh, come on. Hi. Hi. Oh no. Wait, I'm gonna put here Orange Laboratory. This is the thing that she has been making. That Oreko has been making. Hold on. Oh, that's sad. Wait, hold on. Orange Laboratory. Let's see. I'll take a picture of that. Okay. Something that she has been working on in her entire life. 10. A thing. I'll call her name Orange. Oreo. Has been working on a machine. See memo board 1. In submarine that looks similar to the apparatus here. Let's see what else. Upon entering this section of the lab, laughs can be heard from time to time, like that. A decaying Savitsky can be found. Oh no, wrong shade. Savitsky can be found. Alright. Huh. What happens if I go in? Oh. What is it saying? I can't go in. They're holding hands. Or maybe she's holding something, but what is going on here? What are you keeping from me? That's weird. Okay. So I think from there I guess I can call it a session. This was found in the Orange Maze as well, a pretty violent place where chasers roam. And then Oreko was like building this thing. You know? And we don't really know what she's up to, so I think it can't really be here. If I do this, this is where I come back to the area. I'll try to find something else too. Let's see, what this is, wetlands, right? Yep, this is wetlands. Okay. Actually, I can just stop here. It's been fun. There were a lot of things that we are able to do. It's a short stream, but I'll have to rest soon. Let's see. Okay, so what we got so far. Okay, this time I looked closely. I looked even closer at Sabitsky's PC this time. I've been wondering, like, what are those things beside the PC? I figured those were speakers, so it could help her immerse further into the session, or perhaps these are drives of sorts that can help power up her PC to actually run the DOTFLOW program or something, I don't know. And these are entrance variants that I haven't previously captured, although I remember capturing these actually. I guess I just forgot it, but it's a good thing I was able to capture these when I had the chance, because you know, what if I didn't? And nothing new in this morphic world, unfortunately. We weren't able to go in to that corrupted school area where the ghost effect is required because apparently a bug happened. So hopefully next stream things will get a bit better. Psychedelic Town, I have been wondering about those little critters on the rooftops and the meaning of the pink and blue correlation in there. However, I'll also add here that important to note that cyan and pink, actually just cyan and pink, sorry, I mean I could call it blue and pink, but it still hopefully gives the same gist. Wait, water. My throat's hurting a bit. What bug are you talking about? If you can look earlier into the stream soon, if this gets in the archives, you can actually see that in the chance that the corrupted school entry is supposed to happen, the middle face doesn't show up, or maybe that's one of the chances. But yeah, the face didn't show up because normally there's a middle face in place of the gaping bleeding mouth. It's random chance, yeah. But does the gaping mouth creature like disappear, or does the middle creature disappear from time to time? Is that part of the chance, or you're just unlucky? Probably. But yeah, normally there are like three creatures in there, so wait, hold on. Cyan pink is also used to color certain places in the world, like sweet sugar. I'll try to illustrate it. 2-6 for 3 mouths, 2 mouths, 2-6 for. Oh really? Oh damn. Okay. I guess I was just unlucky then. I thought it was a bug. I thought those were the only outcomes then. Well, it's okay. Next stream we'll address that, and then I'll get back into the I'll do as much as I can. Hopefully I'll be able to get that 1/6 chance. I am excited, so I'll do that for next stream. So yeah. So for sewers then, we were able to find the connection to Northern Wastewater Lake. And this random dude right here that looks like that's a hand and something, a sludge, sort of sludge has been slammed towards the wall. It's also per flow session, so it's teases to try for. Yeah, exactly. That's what I've been doing. So I thought it was a bug. but little did I know there were like more than two outcomes, as you have mentioned. So slime sculpture is interesting. Yeah, slime sculpture. I wonder who made the slime sculpture. Perhaps it was already there, accumulated up for years and stuff. I wonder if it's supposed to resemble something. But yeah, right beside that is the tunnel which leads to Northern Wastewater Lake. And this is where we get to enter the neighborhood as well. Maybe it's a melted form of something more fancy. Something more fancy. When you mention fancy, that's actually interesting. More fancy. A statue? Perhaps. It looks like the statue. Statue of Liberty, but no, that's not. The Statue of Liberty is kind of funny, but yeah, it does make sense if it's a statue of sorts. More elaborate, I guess is the word. I see. Yeah. So right beside that is a tunnel going into Northern Wastewater Lake. These are the assets present in that world. I didn't really picture the assets in Visceral World, unlike what I did here. But this is basically the docks equivalent. And in here we can find the neighborhood entry point. And in the neighborhood there are two entry points. One to our good friend Smile and his sister. And this is what happens if you use the iron pipe effect on him. He was badass when I pulled out the iron pipe. He looked back and he's like, "Get behind me." He's actually awesome. I don't know, he's cool. I can now understand the fandom. If that's what I've learned. I can now understand the fandom more. My throat hurts. Wait. Okay, maybe I shouldn't stop talking that low. Okay, so in school, on the other hand, I'll just talk like this. Sorry about this, because apparently it's straining the right side of my cords at the moment. Anyway, so in school we have our menu theme NPCs, and here you can select your themes, of course. This guy is for the Shinsoku Neko theme and your normal theme. And these are for the themes you acquired, like the flower and the smile theme, which I got by threatening him and his family with an iron pipe. And of course, if we took out the iron pipe, as we could see, we got to see him take out his weapon, which is similar here. This is the point where I took out my iron pipe. And yeah, as we saw in the school, he was a recurring NPC in there. We saw the different variants of the posters. And notably, last stream, I was able to see this eye as well during planned corridors, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So there's that. We also got to see Smile in the balcony. Pretty serene part, and this is where we got our tattoo effect. And the tattoo effect is we just acquire the markings that he has. Let me compare the proportions real quick. Oh, so it's different. His eyes are a bit closer. But yeah, it's really funny that I've heard word from the fandom. They usually ship the two. I don't know, but it's funny how the two imagine their dynamic. Apparently they have sexual tension when she starts pulling out the iron pipe, which is oh my gosh, the usual fandom stuff. And of course, these are the NPCs we saw. One of them is blocking the entrance. I guess that'll be unlocked soon. Otherwise, I was able to reach the uniform NPC effect NPC. A minority of the fandom, I see. But yeah, there's definitely a connection between the two. That's really funny though. Now in Snow World, where the rusted pipes are, there's the plant that I interacted with and the aftermath of the pipe. I did not really picture the pipe beforehand, but this is what happened. I assumed this was an entryway into Illusory, or part of the entryway into Illusory corridors, but I'm not too sure. Illusionary corridor, sorry, it was right here. But like, this is part of the entryway of sorts. Then we got to document some more things in the hospital, and we got to picture this part too. These are the guards we saw at disposal. And this is shaped like a brain. I guess my thought is that this is supposed to designate them as some sort of intelligence team or something, but I'm not really sure about that either. Maybe it's a visual sentence like, I'm consciously trying to keep myself in, or something inside. And this is general impression I've gotten is people feel Smile as a friend from school. That's a toxic influence of Sabitsky, with all the gang and violence type stuff related to him. I see. That's another good correlation. Yeah, toxic influence. Damn. Yeah, that's actually a good connection. Especially when you pull out your pipe, Smile seems really excited to what do you call this, to interact with you that way. On the other hand, he does have a similar hairstyle with Sabitsky, but perhaps that doesn't really have a connection. He might just have a similar hairstyle. Friend from school, the toxic influence. I did say earlier in stream, it could be a former lover of sorts, but either way, someone who was close. Yeah, someone who's close, who had that sort of influence. That's a good take. Something teasing for later from Hole. Can't go through this fence. And then we have insides. So this is where I started to discover the other the entryway here. This is the sewers, and this one is to Visceral World, where we get to meet the corpse again from where we found from Backward Past and Sunset. And more peaceful section of the womb maze until we reach this part, which has been blocked off for some reason, and doing something to the chaser actually does nothing, unless if I was supposed to ding dong ditch basically and then try to run in, if that would even work. Otherwise it could have been unlocked by something. Then this is also where I got the viscera effect, where Sabitsky's guts started pouring out, and trying to do the action makes her, you know, what do you call this? Yeah, struggle to put back her guts in. Those are intestines, if I remember. They seem like intestines. However, with the womb maze and Visceral World, these seem more like uterine areas or imagery. On the other hand, we have the Orange Laboratory, which I finally got to visit after accidentally discovering it after going around the Oreko tube. And there's a sort of maze going on there, and I'm glad I was able to discover the absolute entry on my own by going down midway on the stairs. I'm actually proud of that. Usually that's something I'd do after reading the wiki, but you know, it's fucking around and finding out and getting rewarded for it. So yeah, this is a point of interest so far with Oreko and Sabitsuki. I wonder if Oreko has something to do with Sabitsuki's disease. There usually machinery stuff is related to her, and then she is seen making something. So I'm actually not quite sure what to feel about it. Maybe it's Oreko trying to help her out through the disease? But then going inside this room, I hear laughter. Who is laughing? Is it Oreko? Is it this decaying Sabitsuki? Who could it be? Who could it be? Well, we'll find out in the next episode of UncutStreams.flow. But yeah, so that has been it for our short but merry stream of .flow for our second stream. Yes. So thank you to people who came over to the stream. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being with me all the way to the end, and thanks in general for being there. Nevertheless, like in any circumstance, thanks for being there. So I'll find a way to stream. Probably I'll stream on Saturday night, and then I will try to explore the quote-unquote bug further, which apparently is a more than one outcome thing that I can just get really unlucky on. And I really want to reach these dudes because there's a rainbow maze door right beside one of them, and I do want to reach them. So I'm looking forward to this as well. Let's see if there's anything else I want to reach as well. Nothing else, and I have gone through a big smile arc, so it's really just about it, I think. Actually, so does that mean, yeah, I mean definitely Sabitsuki, that means Sabitsuki has been involved in a lot of gang violence and has participated in one herself, being the perpetrator. But on the other hand, he's protecting his sister. Or I'm pretty sure it's him going, oh yeah, sure, but hopefully my sister doesn't get hurt or something. Yeah. Okay, so enough yapping. This is where I'll wrap things up. So hopefully next stream I'll be able to discover more things. Otherwise, at the very least I tried. So yeah, that will be it for this stream. Thank you so much for coming over. Thank you so much for being with me. Sweet dreams, sweeter days, and have the sweetest sweetest life.